Okay, so in this video I'm going to do a walkthrough of the Jenkins235 method. So to start off with, you have your low, your swing low to a swing high. In this case, it's the all-time high. So that's a local low. Pull from this point to this point, and then do the reverse and pull from B to A. That creates your two circles and the Vesica Pisces. Vesica Pisces is the square root of 3. If you come from the corner of this teal circle to the halfway point, either B or from this part to A, that's the square root of 2. And then if you come from the edge of this circle all the way to the edge of this circle, you have a square root of 5. So this is Jenkins' legend. He gives us AB equals CD. I figured out the BC ratio. They gave you AC is square root of 2. DE is half of AB. EF is not given, so I'm going to try to figure that one out because there's some discrepancies here, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And then we have CF is the square root of 2, AF is the square root of 5, and AD is the square root of 3. So to kind of help you figure out what's going on here, because it looks like a bunch of chaos, even for me. So the pink circle here is BC. And I figured out just by measuring, so from the book, I pulled out a tape measure, and I started measuring the spaces between, and figured out that ratio. And it came out to be 3/4 of AB. So if you take A to B, and you put a fib channel on it, and you put these right here, and you drop your circle center here at 375 and drag it out to 75 or to the edge here at A, you'll get your circle, which is here, and that is a spacing between B and C. So that has held true on at least 3 charts now. So we have a confirmed C. I have no questions about A, no questions about B. Those are set. C is good. The next one now is D. Well, to get to D point, it's going to be AB equals CD. So CD, there's a length from C to D that's going to equal the length of A to B, and that will give us where D lands. So, or an area, because it's not like a straight line, although the distance in this circle here, the whole diameter is the distance of AB. If that makes sense. So I'm just going to pull it over here so you can see how it fits right there within A to B. So I know that the diameter of the circle is CD. And all I did was that left edge right here where my mouse is at, I aligned that and this, and it kind of found that arc right there. So let me put that back. And that was CD. So I was like, okay, cool. So now I have D. I need to figure out E. Well, E is going to be half of AB. So if you took a line here and drew it, I just went from the circle center, since this is, you know, equal to AB. I went from the set unit circle to the edge of it and got the half. So that's half. So that's D to E. So we see E kind of extended here, but if you were to play this from a trading perspective, as soon as D hit the bottom of the circle, you just go long. And then this would be an area of take profits. So I guess you wouldn't want to short it right away until that level was broken. Because I'm trying to think, yeah, this is great to chart, and it makes sense, but how do you trade this shit too? So then E to F, right? There's nothing, Jenkins doesn't give us anything for EF, so I'm trying to figure that one out. But he gives us other dimensions like C to F and A to F. Well, okay, C to F is a square root of 2. Well, our blue circle is AC, which is a square root of 2. So I just cloned that one and got orange. So orange is the square root of 2. And I aligned it with that top there and with that corner. and I said F should be here. Although it dumped a fucking shit ton afterwards. So I'm like, can that really be F? Does that make sense? So we have the C to F projection being the square root of 2, although it seems like it's a lot longer. So then he says, well, AF is the square root of 5. Okay, so remember the square root of 5 was coming from this circle here, from the edge to this edge. So if you look at this big monster yellow here. So if we go from there, let me line that up. There we go. So you notice the edge here, the edge here, the edge here, and the edge here. So if you pull that across, so the diameter is the square root of 5. Interestingly too, I love like looking back at this when like you just kind of set it and measure, because you'll find like there was nothing there, but it fought this invisible square root of 5 circle and then busted through. Which you wouldn't know that was there until after this, you know, had played out, but just cool how it respects that. Anyways, all right, so back to C to F. It's supposed to be this, right? This giant ass circle. This is where I'm getting hung up at. So we got that little wick over there to the left. I got C at the top, and I'm just kind of aligning that. So he tells us CF is square root of 2. We already had that one, but if we go from A to F, it's the square root of 5. Well, A to F, this is not even close. Like, we're way off. So even if I make it cross through A and grab C to create that diameter, that would put F somewhere along this area here. Because if you go any shorter, right? If you go any shorter than, if you're not doing a straight line across for the diameter from point A, like wherever you move the circle at, you'd have to make a diameter for it to be the legit square root of 5. But like that's not a straight shot. It touches the bottom. So even if I were trying to make it fit, so that'd be A diameter, looking at trying to find that trajectory line down. I got some geometry up top that's telling me, let's try that. But once again though, this would be A to F. Well, the diameter is about right there. Yeah. So over here would be F. That doesn't align with the other one. So that's the part I'm getting hung up on right now. And F is the last one that he gives. But the A to B, C to D, even D to E, that's solid. Like, I feel like that's the C to D is very tradable. The D to E is very tradable. The E to F is tradable, but it's how far does it go? So do you just go with, okay, well, let's go with the square root of 2 from C to F. And once you reach that point, you know, take your profits, or maybe leave a runner or two if it doesn't reverse right away. Because, I mean, look at that extension down. That's insane. And then on that other chart from Intel that I did, pull that over here. If you look at Intel's, I was trying to figure out where D was at, and we still shot through it a little bit. But, I mean, that nailed. And then there's my circle again for B to C, which I was expecting a touch. Well, the closest lower high was here to that edge. So that was my C point. So that's the other thing is the least subjective, the better. Like, it just needs to be as close to a truth as possible without having to do interpretation. But anyways, so yeah. Welcome to Jenkins235. I see a lot of potential here. It's just the interpretation of it. Hopefully this was helpful. I'm going to make some more charts and then try to talk through it as I go. And I'm going to try to figure out maybe some kind of formula for EF or some way to tell how that's supposed to fit. I'm going to look at a few other charts. And if I can figure that out, that would help kind of solve where it should go distance-wise. Because I think, like, this would be great timing, too. Like, it's a good timing to know, okay, F is supposed to end somewhere over here, time-wise. But you also, once again, it's subjective, because what if the circle goes up here? Or, you know, or if it comes, I'm just, you know, spitballing here, but I'm just saying the diameter moves with it as you move the circle. So it's very subjective as to where it could be placed, but gives you an area of interest for price. The other thing I was looking at, and I put it on the other chart, was so long as you have A and B, you should be able to lay a third circle to create a spherical triangle, and that third circle should be able to help point to an intersection where price should go to. Like, let's go look at Intel right quick. So if you look at Intel, I have 3 circles. Well, the 3 circles there create this right here, AB to the square root of 3. That's your spherical triangle. And this would be a point which price did come right into test it. So you know there's a target down there. It's just when would it hit? That's the part you gotta try to time. Which I guess if you did an options up to the edge of the where the square root of 5 is, or that sideways GAN box, you could do it to there, and hopefully it would hit before it would reach that point. So you would know, okay, price has reached here. Close the trade on the option. But then again, you're also, like, you know that's a point of interest, but you know that C to D is there, so you may not close the option. You may just add to it, or that's something you'd have to figure out with the trade plan, because C to D is going to be a nice runner too. Anyways, all right, I'll make some more charts, and then I'll make some more videos, and hopefully we'll all learn something. Later.